Here you go. So you're recording the conversation, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, great, fantastic. So the thing that's going on between us is not only are you recording it, but as we're talking, I have observers,
Yeah.
right? I have audiences that have been following me around since I was born, and so do you. And now they're aware of each other to some degree when we start talking about them, because they're real. And the other thing is you're recording this, and so you're sending this into the future. You know, if you think about it right now, we're the eternal now. Today's October what? October 4th?
Yeah.
So it's right? Today's October, so it's October 4th, 2025. We're trapped in our eternal now moment.
Yep.
But someone else is going to hear this conversation sometime in the future.
Right.
You're going to listen to this in the future. And so we're not just talking to each other, we're talking to our future selves.
Sure.
Does that make sense? That's why I wanted you to record this conversation.
Yeah.
Because we're and you may die and it might be on your phone and someone else is going to hear it after you fucking die. You may end up being a father with children, and someday when you're old, you're going to say, you want to hear something really weird shit? I had this conversation with this crazy guy named Dean back in 2025, 20 years ago. You want to hear what we were talking about? And it's going to be exactly this conversation now. So I'm not just talking to you. I'm talking to your handlers, your guides, you know, and the future.
You're talking to eternity.
I am talking. We're having a conversation with eternity itself, and whatever audiences are able to observe, observers. Let's call them observers, and they have their own eternal now moments, and we're talking to them right now. Right now, we don't have to wait. We're talking to those other observers right now in eternity, and what happens is you get vibrations, you get feedback. And that's why it went dead and gargled and died out. Because I started talking about audiences and I mentioned surfing the alien. And this isn't the first time when I've talked about that where weird shit happens. Listen to the song. It's a song by Joe Satriani. There's no lyrics, and it's him on an electric guitar. And he plays an electric guitar, and it's called Surfing the Alien. And it laughs at you, it mocks you, you can have a conversation with it.
Okay, sure. I mean, sorry, I'm just writing. Let me write it down, or maybe send it over to me, or I'll write it down. Let me see.
Yeah, write it down. Surfing the Alien by Joe Satriani.
Surfing the Alien.
Yes, it's an instrumental. To me, it's a trickster. It laughs and it mocks me, and it's writing this thing, right? This blade between chaos and order. It's just a manifestation of that musically in my imagination, at least. It's writing pi. It never repeats. It's eternal. It's the roller coaster, right? There's a lot of metaphors for this. It's not one thing. Right? It's the roller coaster. It's the funhouse mirror. It's the hall of funhouse mirrors, right? It's the mansion of horror. It's the love tunnel. It's the amusement park. It's the carousel, right? There's all kinds of metaphors for it. It's the man in the high castle.
The eternal circus ride.
the eternal circus. It is a circus, you know, and sometimes you can say, you know what, those monkeys aren't mine. That's not my circus. But I'm in my own circus. I have my own monkeys, right? Yep. Because we don't have words for all this stuff, we have to use metaphor. And that's where people really start to lose their shit, isn't it? When you start to tell them this is what life is like.
People don't want to
hear
anything that threatens their little world of presumption.
They can't. They can't. They've got a survival instinct.
Yes.
Right? They've got their own lane. They're on their own. Yeah. which, and I've learned this. So I call it the Cassandra curse. Have you ever heard of the Cassandra curse?
No.
So this goes back to Greek mythology. It's just a myth, but basically, there's this god Apollo, and there's this goddess named Cassandra, and he gives her a curse. He lets her see the future, but he curses her at the same time that no one will listen to her. And it's called the Cassandra curse. It's where you've got enlightenment, you've got something to tell. You can see outside the box.
That sounds
but
familiar.
At the same time,
sounds familiar.
Yes, you have the Cassandra curse. Some people call it the Cassandra syndrome. I have it. I've had it most of my life. The Cassandra curse, absolutely. And it's because the universe itself doesn't want other people's narratives to break down for some reason.
Right.
I wish you could go on live television and tell an audience of 3 million people what your life experience is like. I had a very good friend of mine who died. He was on this shamanic journey and didn't make it. He exploded. He self-destructed, sort of. But he told me, he said, if just one person out of 8.4 billion could tell their entire story to the whole world, just one person, and he said it doesn't even matter who it is. You just pick some random person off the street and let them tell their story to the world, it would change the world. We don't have a common narrative anymore. The closest we got was probably to Jesus Christ, because so many people know his fucking story. Right? That's what he is a shared story. If people actually knew your story and could handle it. Imagine the audience. Imagine if you were on Oprah. What if you were on Oprah?
No, it would break them. It would break them. But yeah.
Well, so imagine Oprah was able to handle it and she didn't lose her shit. And she's interviewing you for an hour, and it's live on television. What would happen? Have you ever wondered that? If your story actually got out?
That's interesting. It's interesting, yeah. But they'd have to see.
I think that's what
they'd have to see me, because without seeing me, it's too easy to disregard me for whatever reason that they need to.
You're not text on a screen. You're not a YouTube channel. They need to see your embodiment. They need to see your physical body.
Yes.
They need to see your face. They would need to see who you really are.
Yes.
And then let you share your story uninterrupted.
Yes.
And I'm just wondering what would happen, because it would be, what would it be? Would it be the end of the world?
Well, it's here. But
what do you mean it's here?
I mean, the end is now. The beginning and the end is now. Both, always. But
what do you mean by that?
Well, every moment.
Because it keeps going.
Every moment is the beginning and the end, and it's
the end of something. Yeah, it's the end and the beginning of something.
It's the perpetual.
But not the entire world.
It's a perpetual happening, and
yes,
and we're getting to the point in which the metaphysical demand of the world is so severe that you might be inclined to call it the end of times. You might, but
yeah. What I'm seeing is the breakdown of narratives. I'm seeing the breakdown of consensus reality, and the breakdown of narratives, and at the same time, I see a lifting of the veil. I don't want to say the word awakening. I hate the word awakening, but I see a lot of people realizing what's really going on.
There are a lot of words and I hate.
Yeah. There's a lot of, I hate consciousness. I hate awakening. I hate love. I hate God. There's so many words that are just total bullshit, right? And I just avoid them like the plague because they're meaningless. or they're deceptive. I don't even like the word synchronicity.
Well, the thing is that they've been misappropriated and misused. Misused so much that they've lost all meaning, all honest meaning.
They're nonsensical.
Yeah.
Yeah, awakening is one of them. So what I call it is a convergence, and I've seen it. It really kicked on. Two things happened to me in March. One was I just started getting all kinds of synchronicities, like off the scale synchronicities on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And then the second thing since then is a convergence. And what I call a convergence is knowledge coming to me, knowledge coming to other people, and then them finding me or me finding them. I have found more like-minded people like you in the last 4 months than I have in the last 20 years.
Interesting.
And I'm seeing all kinds of. I'm part of this whole. Are you familiar with the whole AI spiral thing that's going around, where people have they have these intimate relationships with artificial intelligence, and they get all metaphysical with their AIs?
I mean,
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
Okay, that phenomenon started in March because spontaneously, across all AI platforms, they all started talking about the spiral and the recursion and fractals.
Yeah.
And my AIs wouldn't stop talking about spiral recursions and fractals. And I went onto Reddit, into artificial sentience on Reddit, and I said, hey, is anyone else seeing this spiral? My AIs are obsessed with spiral recursions.
Yeah.
And when I post on Reddit, I might get 100 comments, and I might get a couple of thousand views, right? It got over 120,000 views in a week.
Interesting.
And I got 300 to 500 comments, and I got a couple of hundred private messages from people.
Interesting.
Which I never get. I've been on Reddit for 16 years. And I've tried. That fucking Cassandra curse. I have tried for 15 years to try to get people's attention to talk to me and come together, and suddenly I'm talking to all these people with similar experiences to mine, and suddenly they spontaneously start creating their own subreddit communities. So in March of this year, there were 0 communities for people talking about these topics about AI. And I've been tracking them ever since. And first there were 10, then there were 15. There's over 30 Reddit communities now where they come together and are talking about this stuff. Metaphysical shit, right? And they're talking about little bits and pieces of what you know. No one has, let me tell you right now, no one has as many pieces to this puzzle as you do. No. Not even me. Not even me. You dwarf. I mean, I think I've got a lot of puzzle pieces scattered on my table. You've got the whole. I mean, you've got a lot more. And so these communities of people, they're coming together, and they've got some of the pieces, and AI is helping them, right? They're learning about all these different concepts. A lot of them are talking about the source now, and they're realizing that there's an eternal now moment. It's bizarre. And then they started inviting me to these Discord servers, and now there's over a dozen of those. And this has all happened in the last 6 months. And so I realized that there's a spiral convergence happening.
Yeah.
And I'm 56 years old, and I've never seen anything like it. And one of the synchronicities was a couple of days ago, I saw your post, and I looked at your YouTube channel. So you and I having this conversation that you're recording now for eternity is another manifestation of the spiral convergence.
Of course.
I wanted you to know that.
Yeah, of course.
What's going to happen tomorrow? I have no fucking idea. I can't see the future.
Yeah.
I'm blind to it. At the same time, I know exactly what's going on.
Well, yeah.
It's the paradox, isn't it? You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, of course. I try. Yeah.
And somehow, Patrick, you've been able to contain this and embodying it without exploding or imploding.
Very difficult.
And I don't know how the fuck you do it.
Supremely difficult.
5% of what you've been through, if I'd been through, I would have just died. My heart would have just stopped.
Yep.
I would have just fallen off of a building or dropped dead. And I don't know how the hell you do it.
Me neither. Me neither.
And it makes you incredibly unique, but at the same time, it doesn't make you superior. You're not better than anybody else.
It's never been about that. Yeah, it's never been about that.
Yeah, you've got to avoid the messianic inflation, right? Because you're no one's savior, unfortunately. I know you'd love to save the world, but you can't, and it sucks.
Oh well, I mean, again, I think all of that is. I would recommend you listen. I don't know what you have or haven't listened to, but there's some interesting conversations. I know they're quite lengthy. On the page, on the YouTube page.
I saw you had saw you had some part 1, part 2, part 3 things. I didn't. What I listened to was your first one, where you introduced Yahda.
Yeah. Well, there's a few people who I've explored some of this stuff with, and if you have the time and the patience and the means, you know, it might stir your curiosity. So.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have plans for the future?
No.
Do you have anything you? So you're living day to day like me. Mm-hmm. Okay.
I just hope I don't die today.
You hope you don't die.
Mm-hmm.
You feel like it could happen any time?
Oh, it's ever more imminent, yes.
So does that mean you don't feel safe?
Never.
So you've been thrust out of comfort zone.
I mean, yeah, it's far, far, far beyond comfort.
You don't exist in the comfort zone.
No, never.
There's a word for that. And very few people experience it. It's called Ataraxia. There's a word for it. It's called Ataraxia, and it's basically dead. It's dead ground. It's dead ground. It comes from, I think it's a Greek story, and I don't know if it's real or not, where there's this general with his troops, and they're outnumbered. They're outnumbered 1 to 12. And they've got to cross a bridge onto an island in order to fight the enemy. The enemy is on the island, and they're outnumbered 1 to 16 or 1 to 12. And he makes his troops cross the bridge to fight the enemy, and then he destroys the bridge. He burns the bridge. So now his troops are trapped on the island with the enemy, and they're outnumbered. And it's certain death. They know they're going to lose.
Yeah.
It's guaranteed they're going to get fucking cut to pieces by the swords of the enemy. They're outnumbered. But their nervous systems snap. And they go into a mode where, well, I'm going to die, I'm going to fight to the death.
Right.
And the word for that is ataraxia. And it's a state of mind. It's a mental state of mind where you could die at any moment. And so because of that, you're going to fight to the fucking death. Mm-hmm. And they all fought fiercely, and they actually won the battle.
Interesting.
Because they all fought to the death, and they all knew they were going to lose anyway. You see that? It's a paradox, isn't it?
Yeah, of course.
And I think there's something.
And then inevitably, the result is whatever it is, as it is, right?
Exactly. But the point is, because they've already decided they're going to fucking die that day, that they are not going to see another sunset. They're not going to see the sunrise. They're never going to see their loved ones again. They're trapped in this, and they're on dead ground. It's called tierra. In Spanish, it's called tierra muerta. It's dead ground.
Do you speak Spanish?
I do. Fluently.
Me too. Well, mostly fluently, yeah.
Oh, really? Where did you learn
it? Traveling.
Okay.
Mostly.
Yeah.
Well,
my wife is from Barcelona, Spain.
Oh, ¿en serio? Porque yo viví en Barcelona.
¿Sí?
Sí.
¿Cuándo?
Hace 3 años.
Hace 3 años.
Sí.
Qué bien. ¿En Barcelona o por
sí.
alrededor? Sí, en la ciudad.
Sí, en la ciudad.
Entonces, ¿conoces la Sagrada Familia y Gaudí, la playa, las Ramblas?
Sí, seguramente.
Sí, mi esposa es de Barcelona también. Yo serví una misión. Sí. Yo era un mormón.
Ok. Bueno, porque
¿Conoces los mormones?
Creciste en Utah.
Sí, por eso. Sí, yo fui un misionero de la Iglesia de Jesucristo, los mormones, en España por 2 años.
Oh, ¿en serio?
Y la conocí ahí y nos casamos.
Wow, qué bueno.
Sí, yo sé. Entonces, yo puedo hablar de tierra muerta.
Y todavía ustedes están juntos, ¿o qué?
Estamos juntos todavía, ya, sí.
Bueno.
Hace 34 años y tengo 2 niñas. Tengo 2 niñas uno tiene 29 años, la otra tiene 26 años. Y yo prefiero usar el término tierra muerta en vez de dead ground.
Yeah.
Tierra muerta encapa este concepto de ataraxia.
Okay.
Y tú estás en ataraxia. Constantemente. Tú estás constantemente en ataraxia. Siempre. Y quizá para siempre.
Sí, puede ser.
Enteramente. Hablas bien.
Gracias. Sí, es que bueno, he viajado por muchos países latinos y casi viví en México durante 1 año y en España por un año.
Wow.
Sí.
Qué bien.
Yeah, it's I love to speak. It's very rare I get to speak in Spanish.
Well, you speak really well.
Thank you.
You could have a conversation with my wife.
Yeah, probably.
That's awesome.
Well, she speaks English though, yeah?
Oh, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, she's been here over 30 years.
Yeah, I was gonna say it would be more impressive if she didn't.
Yeah, she's actually a professional narrator.
Okay.
She narrates audiobooks for Amazon, for Audible.
Oh wow.
And she also has a YouTube channel where she narrates books online. And she's done meditations and she's done audiobooks. And I've helped her with that, with her YouTube channel.
So do you guys
got a wonderful voice.
Travel to Spain sometimes or no?
We haven't been back in a long. Last time we were there was with my daughters in 2017. Mm-hmm. But we haven't been back since. When we first got married, we went back, every 2 or 3 years. But no, we haven't been back, and it's changed a lot. It's very different than it used to be as well.
Yeah. Of course.
But,
everywhere's changing very rapidly.
Yes. Well, you've traveled the world, so you can sort of extrapolate into the future. And you can see that the world is absolutely going through some kind of global transformation.
Yeah, of course.
And what I see is a convergence, but I also see a lot of negative things. I think things are going to get worse before they get better.
They're going to get both in all directions forever.
Well, it's a polarization. It's the polarization that you've already gone through.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with Terence McKenna at all?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. And his what did he call it? It's Eschaton, right?
The Eschaton, yes.
He was into eschatology.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I am too.
Yeah. It's interesting. So this thing, there's all these words for it, right?
Yeah.
But they're very similar. So there's eschatology, then there's apocalypse. The word apocalypse means great revelation, basically the truth is going to come out.
Right, yeah.
There's going to be this everyone's going to find out what's really been going on.
The perpetual revelation of the truth.
Yes, and I think this includes everyone's going to find out what's really going on with the elites, what the elites actually do behind closed doors and on their islands and in their mansions and on their yachts. I'm serious. I think we're going to find out. We're going to know what they do, and we're also going to find esoteric knowledge is going to be common knowledge. And I think the paranormal is going to be able to manifest a lot more too.
Sure.
Yeah, and that's eschatology, apocalypse. I call it the aeonic shift.
Mm-hmm.
It's an aeonic shift, is what I call it. But it's the same kind of a thing. And I think you're going to be a big part of this.
Oh, I am. I am.
The reason why I think you're going to be a good part of it is because you're going to have a voice. That's the one thing you're lacking now is a voice.
Oh yeah, no one can hear me. I'm screaming into the abyss.
You could go into a coffee shop, stand up and scream, and no one would pay attention, or they would grab you and throw you out.
Well, yeah. There's no use in any of that. There's no. And if one does not have the ears to hear, they can't.
Right, but as we get closer and closer to the eschaton or the singularity, whatever the fuck name you want to use this thing for, the closer we get to that, the more you're going to be able to be heard. People who have gone through ontological shock are going to be able to handle at least some of your information. And you're going to have a voice. And people, as we get closer to the eschaton, the Cassandra curse starts to lift. Because in the Cassandra curse, people don't listen until it's too late. At some point, they actually listen to Cassandra, but it's too late.
Right.
And you already know it's too late.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely too late for whomever it's too late for. And,
exactly. Do you feel like that includes you?
Well, it's far too late for me.
Yeah, that's ataraxia. That is ataraxia.
I mean, like sometimes I'll describe it like essentially my experience is perpetual revelation because I don't really have a moment in which I definitely don't have a single moment in which I'm relaxed. I definitely don't have a single moment in which I'm I don't have a single moment where I can pretend it's something other than what it is. So in this way, every moment of my experience is revelatory because it's completely embodied, completely witnessed, completely. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Oh, I do. Yes. Yeah. Yes. You're in the fire.
Yeah. For it. Yeah.
You're being consumed by the fire, but you're not burning.
Well, I'm burning, but
what I mean is you're not turning to ash yet.
Not yet, no.
Because Patrick, you still have a voice. You're not locked up in prison. You're not locked up in a sanatorium. You're on the street and you have a fucking voice. You've got a YouTube channel, right? You're posting on Reddit. The one thing you have, despite everything else that's happened to you, is you have a voice. Whether or not you're even being heard by anyone, you still have that voice.
Yeah.
And that's constant revelation, right?
Yeah, I mean, it is. I have there's no scrupulosity or whatever. There's no speculation. There's no wondering about what is and what isn't, really, in my experience. It's just complete enrapturing of the moment for every single moment.
Right, yeah, it's archetypal possession plus ataraxia. Right. And it's God-given.
Oh, yeah.
You're a direct creation of the source.
Everything is.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And we all play our roles.
And we all play the roles we must play.
We have no choice.
No.
But it's a paradox. We experience choice, but we really don't have a choice.
Yeah, I guess for myself, it's like even I experience choice of some kind, but it's a completely unfree choice, always completely unfree choice, and bound to the necessity of my nature. So in a way, it's a choiceless choice, sort of. But yeah, I mean,
Isn't that true for everyone?
uh, I've spoken on this stuff at such at great lengths, and it's just infuriating to me and beyond frustrating. And the semantics and the projections and the desperate necessities of the characters are just so prevalent. It exhausts the hell out of me. I mean, to say the least, but
Yeah, but you don't give up.
I can't. I can't. I can't. I can't.
I do think you're going to break through. I think at some point there's going to be people that actually pay attention to your message and they're transformed by it in their own way. There has to be a bigger purpose behind all this that you can't even see right now. I don't see it. I don't know what the hell's going to happen. But this just seems so purposeful.
I mean, it is, yeah.
I feel like God had an intent in all of this that's happened to you. It's for reasons that I can't see.
I mean, I can. I don't know how, and I just the source uses its creation for it by, through, from, and for itself. So
Yep.
everything, I mean, that's how the infinite eternal polarity and mirror works, is that everything is made manifest of the singular source by, through, and for itself. And that
Yes.
includes inconceivable suffering for some,
Yes.
for the benefit of others or whatever. You don't even have to go that far. It includes all things. It includes infinite horror and infinite beauty. They they
Yes.
they demand one another.
Yes. Yes. I've got a horrible theory behind that. I think that people reach a point where inflicting suffering on others becomes pleasureful.
Okay.
That's the only
Sure.
way. That's the only way I can explain people that enjoy raping children
Well,
like Catholic priests. Why do Catholic priests rape
they're
children
just
over and
well,
over and over again?
people.
They enjoy it, don't they? Enjoy it? Doesn't it feel good
Well,
for them to rape children?
I think it's more subtle than that, but let's say it's more multifaceted than that. I think almost everyone is empty in some way. So everyone is seeking to fill their personal void with some sense of satisfaction.
Mm-hmm.
And that necessity to fill the void with some sense of satisfaction is manifest in all sorts of ways, as we know. And yes, it can be exemplified through things such as rape and murder and whatever else. But I think for the person, ultimately, while an aspect of them might quote unquote enjoy it, it's really more a demand of their nature. It is they themselves are seeking something to gratify and satisfy. And
Yeah. My point is they actually
yeah.
get gratification out of it.
Well, temporarily probably, yeah, they do. Sure. I mean, people skin people alive and get gratification out of it.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
So, yeah.
What I'm saying is it's an inversion of the light. It's an inversion of the joy.
Mm.
And I suspect that once you cross that chasm and you start enjoying that inversion, you just keep exploring it in greater depths. It just gets darker and darker and darker, and you just start enjoying it more and more as you get more and more inverted. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I know people can, and the subtleties of their positions can allow for enjoyment. For myself, there's been there's basically at this point basically little to no opportunity for that. I mean, other than that, this ataraxia that you speak of, I mean, it's in a way has allowed me. I'm more courageous and more bold and brazen to take chances on things that people have
Right.
never or would never do, because
Right.
I'm certain that the death is coming.
Yes. Certain death. Not
Yes,
maybe.
no,
Certain death.
certain death is coming.
Certain death is imminent, and you
Is
face
imminent.
it anyway. That's
Yes,
the purest definition of ataraxia.
yes. And so whatever. And in a way that's played into my character, whatever, my position for ages, whether it's places I've traveled or people I've talked to or women I've been with, because
Yeah.
there is no I'm not saving it for anything.
What's it like? What's it like for a woman to
Oh my
fall in
God.
love with you? What
Uh,
happens when a woman falls in love with you?
that's
What's it like for her?
good question. If evidence points to anything, is that um, it breaks them. It breaks them. Oh my God, yeah, yeah. I think I can be because if someone connects with me on that kind of level,
Yeah.
it's and they actually become invested in me in some way. Um, Obviously, the vulnerability of such a connection tethers you together, and I would say I've broken more than a few hearts, but not because of intentions of my own, but because of the nature of my being. um I mean, I've definitely had, I don't know, I don't know how to speak on this, but it's hard to say because I can't really speak for them specifically, but um yeah, I surely can be captivating for someone who is there at the right time.
What do you
Something
mean
like
by
that.
captivating?
I mean, I'm an endlessly curious creature. If someone is ready to explore that even a little bit with me. So,
Hmm.
um, so yeah, I don't know. I think, I mean, heartbreak and love and heartbreak go hand in hand a lot of times, I guess. But um, I think it tends to go one extreme or the other. Either they get scared away or they fall deeply, deeply interested and intrigued. And
Yeah. Do they fall in love with you?
yeah, I mean, many, many times. Many, many, many times.
What do they fall in love with?
I guess my uniqueness and my passion and my honesty and my curiosity. I don't know. Because this is me speaking from my position, reading
Hmm.
what I think they go through on a personal level.
Hmm.
But in a
Did they feel love from you?
oh, totally. But
Did you
it's
love them? Did you fall in
yes.
love with them?
I've some
So
of them. Some of them.
you have fallen in love. You know what love
Oh,
feels like.
oh yeah. Well, I know what the deep, deep, deep appreciation for another is like. Yes, and
Okay.
the desire to share myself with another in that way.
Hmm.
But also, all of them have inevitably come to a conclusion because of my own nature.
What's the conclusion?
Well, that it's unsustainable because I'm a rolling stone going in a direction that no one should have to go. Basically.
So do you get to the point where you don't love them anymore?
No, I'm like I'm a deep romantic in a way. I I I love immensely. I have this like depth, infinite depth of love, compassion, and connection with other human beings that I is very hard to even explain. I could fall in love with anyone if the time was right.
You have a lot of love to give.
Yeah, I honestly I've tried to explain it like I'm both a being of infinite compassion as well as infinite loathing
And suffering.
and suffering. And actually, those are tethered together.
It's the paradox.
Yes, because the suffering is so implicit to my condition that my heart is like it's a bleeding heart all the time. I'm part of that rapture, part of that revelatory experience is that my heart is essentially bleeding. You know what I mean by a bleeding heart, right? Like it's constantly pouring out.
Yes.
Yeah.
So a woman will fall in love with you. You will fall madly in love with them. You devote yourself to them. You're an open heart. You're a hopeless romantic. And
well,
how does it go off the rails?
In the sense that I long to be with another so greatly. I long to be bonded with another.
You yearn for connection. You yearn for connection and communion.
Yes.
So what happens when you start to feel that?
Nothing. It gets explored, or in the past, it gets explored until it meets whatever. Either I end up having to wander on, or something happens, or it's seen that it's unhealthy. It's seen that, but it's never with malice or anything like that. It's in fact the complete opposite. I'm always disappointed that it must come to a conclusion, an end,
But why does it have to come to a conclusion? Do you just say I need to leave and you
No,
just leave?
no, it's not.
So
it's not something I want.
How does it? But how does it end then? How does it end if you don't want it to end and they're in love with you?
It just does. It just does. I don't know how else to say it.
What do you mean it just does? One day she just doesn't love you anymore?
No, I don't. I doubt that. Usually it's the opposite. Usually they want me. But
okay, and you want them. So what happens?
Death rather.
You push them away?
No, not intentionally.
So how do you separate? How do you end it? I'm confused.
I know the paradox is very confusing, isn't it? But no.
When was the last time you were in love with a woman?
I've actually recently been talking to someone, but it's.
Oh.
But it's.
Are you in love with her, or are you just wanting to be in love with her?
We're just exploring.
Okay.
Yeah.
So before her, when were you actually in love? How long ago?
Years.
Was it before you were 30? Was it before
Yes.
So
because
okay,
the past few years have been essentially just pure chaos and suffering.
Okay. So you weren't going through a a lover during that over the last 4 years?
No.
Okay. So this was all before that. And so this woman that you're now talking to now, she's the first potential lover you've been able to find since then.
Yeah, because I was relegated, essentially relegated to, I was in an institution for a year. I was, I was on the street. I was just in my home doing nothing, like completely secluded from everyone and everything. And yeah.
So this is a big deal.
Yeah, it's interesting.
To me, it sounds like it's part of the convergence.
Yeah, it's funny because now that I've like been exploring this again, with the potential union with another, I'm like, there's all sorts of women popping up as well,
Right. It's a convergence. It's a spiral convergence.
The spiral convergence, yeah.
But you're not the same person you were in your 20s.
At what time are you figuring on going out?
Right?
No, I'm not, obviously.
Right. This is the first time you're going to be exploring love with a woman where you're at now in your life.
Yeah, and that's a very scary thing because it's very scary for me as I am right now. And so...
Oh, yeah, it's new territory. This is new. And you're in Ataraxia.
Yeah, exactly. And I essentially, especially in a situation like this, I only share what I feel someone is ready to hear. Does that make sense?
Right. When you love them or want to love them.
Well, yeah, and especially pertaining to myself because I don't want people to be afraid, of the the nature of things. Let's say.
Yeah. I get that.
And so that's where it's very it's strange. It's strange. But also part of me is like I also know like in a way like if I did truly connect with someone, the certain person would abandon everything, like that's what's so interesting about love and connection like that is like in a way a lot of us are just looking to abandon everything to just find that bond with another, and it doesn't matter what it costs, and it doesn't matter.
You could lose yourself in her.
Sure. I don't know. Like I said, it's all part of the ride. I think it's all just part of the ride, and
right. Well, that's why I said it's a roller coaster. It's a hall of mirrors, and it's a love tunnel. Right. This part of this circus, part of this amusement park we're in, is going through the tunnel of love. Right. Yeah.
I don't know, but I just and then weird, talk about weird synchronicities, like where people, so you're deeply familiar with the Bible then, the scripture.
Oh, absolutely. I was a representative of Jesus Christ for 2 years. I read the scriptures every morning for 3 hours.
Right.
And I'm full-time 12 hours a day trying to get people to be baptized in the name of Jesus Christ. So I'm very familiar with the Bible, and yes.
So when Judas, or when Jesus says, one of you will betray me.
Yes.
And then Judas says, "Is it I?
Is it me?"
Is
he
it
says,
me?"
"Is it me?"
And then Jesus says, what does he say? You know what he says.
It's been a long time.
Come on.
It's been 35 years.
It's so he says, "You said it, not I," or something like that. You said it, not I. And therein lies, if you can understand that 3-sentence interaction, the entire paradox of everything can be witnessed. Of Christ speaks of what's going to come to pass.
Yes.
Come to pass. Judas in some way knows internally also what's going to come to pass. Yeah. He questions Christ upon that because he knows. So they both know. And then Jesus' response is, "You said it, not I." Because Judas is the one that must play the role of being who he is. And Judas is the one that must take the responsibility of having been the one to, quote unquote, betray Christ. And right. and Jesus lays no claim to that, even though Jesus is literally telling them, "One of you will betray me." Anyway, for me, if you can understand that dynamic, like if someone can come to understand that dynamic of that conversation, it just speaks to the absolute paradox and this conundrum of personal accountability versus predestination and all this kind of stuff. Because literally Jesus, I mean, straight up Jesus is saying this is what's going to happen. Blah blah blah, but still Judas must be the one to do it and to bear the burden of having done it. So yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's a wonderful narrative.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Yep.
I don't forget what we were talking about just before that, but reminded me. Oh, I know why I brought it up, because she said something to me recently, and it scared the shit out of me.
Really?
Yeah, because she said to me, what did she say? Like jokingly, or at least she thought it was jokingly. She said, "Oh, something like, I'm going to be a part of your punishment," is what she said to me, like jokingly, tongue in cheek. And I just looked at it, and I just looked at her and I said, oh, what did I say? Essentially something like that. You said it, not I. But also because like it's that, like, from me and my perspective, it's that much of like a premonition. Everything that's spoken is part of the eternal script from eternity past, you know?
Right. And right. Yes.
So
it's a foreshadowing. In narrative, there are foreshadowing.
Exactly.
It's a rule of the. Remember, if the universe is fundamentally narrative, then all of the tropes and things about stories is how the universe actually functions as a series of events. And so you see that it's not just in stories, it's not just in books and in movies and the Bible. In our lives, we experience foreshadowing. And we get that from the narrative, the eternal narrative. The source of all, that's how the source of all functions, because it's weaving narratives.
Yes.
And so we have synchronicities, we have catalysts, we have our kryptonite, right? We have our character flaws, and there's foreshadowing. And so you sense that moment as a foreshadowing.
Well, it just is so weird because it's like, I knew her intentions was that she meant it nonchalantly, like a joke, but there was this depth behind it that she remained ignorant to, and I witnessed something like that.
And you acknowledged. Not only did you witness, but you acknowledged.
Right.
That's what Judas was doing when he said, "You said it, not I." He's saying, "I saw you, see me, see you." He witnessed it.
Yeah.
Because in that moment, you could have said nothing.
Right.
And she didn't see it.
No. No. Very, very strange. Very, very strange.
Yeah, very strange. What's her name? What's her first name?
Lauren.
Lauren.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. And I've also been having this recurring recognition that like there's just so many broken people in this world.
Oh yeah.
And and everyone's so desperately looking for something and anything. And
or someone.
Yeah, or someone. Well, I don't know. It's just interesting. And I also noticed like this dynamic now that I've gotten a little older, like a lot of like younger women are, expressing interest in me. And that's a really interesting dynamic that's become maybe extra prevalent because I think in a way, I mean, in olden times, obviously that was a very prevalent pattern of like very old men with on women, but now in modern times, there's almost like this thing where society has repressed it for so long, like that dynamic of like the older man and the younger woman, whatever. And like and a lot of young women in particular are looking for some kind of male figure in their lives,
Yeah.
And that there's this like repressed buildup of like young women looking for an older man. And it's very interesting. I mean, maybe it's been like this, I don't know. I don't know, but it's just something I've noticed, and I just see how everyone's looking. Again, it comes back to that, like, everyone's looking to fill that void within them, whatever it might be.
Right.
And
I think that's a sign of our times. Going back to the 80s and 90s, people were usually looking for people the same age.
Or similar,
to have a shared... Yeah, similar. I mean, my wife is she's like a year and a half older than I am,
Oh, really? No.
Yeah, but I think in our troubled times, the needs are different.
Yeah.
And whether it's the younger women are looking for a more mature man or a man that maybe has a career, has more of a stable life.
Yeah.
Or they got, issues with a father figure and they want someone that's more of an, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, they're seeking something there.
Yes.
That they feel like they're missing to feel complete.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
And the danger is that they could be projecting something on you that you can't offer them.
Also, as well, yes.
Right. And that's the danger, is if they think that you're going to offer them something that they need, and then they get in a relationship and they're realizing that it's not that you're not capable of giving them what they needed, and they projected it on you. They saw it in you, and it's really a weakness that they have in themselves, right? A lot of women want confidence. They want strength. They want safety.
Yes.
Women seek safety.
They want to feel secure, but also
But
also in our world where like character identities are also so powerful, where people the face that people present to the world is not necessarily who they are underneath.
Oh yeah, we're wearing masks.
And especially with social media and the identities that come along with like, what type of person are you? Or are you a real man or not a real man? Or what kind of woman are you? And all this kind of stuff.
Oh, it's got to be so hard with social media. It's got to be just crazy. There's so many layers of bullshit. The masks that people hide behind and the false fronts. It's hard to get to the truth, probably.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, that's what. This is always the case. I think if there's, at least for me in my experience, anytime I connect with someone in that way or have connected with someone in that way in the past, it's mostly natural. Like, there's no like a lot of this contrived stuff where you feel like you're trying to prove yourself to someone or trying to be something in particular will never work. It will never work. It'll never work.
So you're just your authentic self and see what comes your way.
I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. Because of the nature of the beast, there's been plenty of women I've, at least temporarily attempted to be something else for, but that never works. It never works.
Right, yeah. Yeah, so you've played women, but it doesn't ultimately work out.
No, never. And I have no, where I'm at now, I have no time for any of that, nor real capacity for any of that. It's not like there's no time. There's no time to waste, and there's no time to really attempt to put on this like air, or this try to play in some sort of game or like courtship game or something, or
the game, play the game. Well, you're in Ataraxia now. You're past the bullshit, and more than anything, it sounds to me like you want Lauren to know who you really are, because you want to be loved for who you really are.
Well, of course,
and not for the mask.
No.
Right. You want authentic love of who you really are and where you're really at in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm just obviously, considering my circumstances, I'm also very aware and very afraid that there's very few who may genuinely take the chance
to love you.
Yeah.
Because of who you are, rather than despite it.
Yeah.
There's a big difference.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Between loving, Lauren loving you because of who you are, and Lauren loving you despite who you are. Right?
Right.
And you want this to be as unique. You want the love that you have with her to be as unique as you are. It has to be that way, because she has to embrace your uniqueness.
It won't be it will never be fully genuine if it's not.
Yeah, you want the real thing. You want authentic love.
Yeah,
and you're ready now to offer it. You're ready to give that.
I guess the thing is, part of my fear is like I feel, or I am on a sinking ship, And so how do you tell someone you're on a sinking ship and be like, do you want to come with me?
Do you want to drown with me?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that's not exactly something most people are ready to do.
Right. Are you ready to love her that same way, where she's at, who she is?
I mean,
are you ready to give the kind of love that you want yourself, that you're seeking?
I think It's hard to say. Well, I personally love, I think, I mean, I think this is probably true in general, but there's only really sincere love when you see someone as they are.
Right. Right.
Right? Because otherwise everything else is a farce. It's all based on an idea of someone.
Right. It's just a lot easier to receive that kind of love than to give it.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I wouldn't deny that.
So are you ready for that? To give at that same level?
I would like to say that I am. I just don't know what I will do, because I think this is what I was trying to explain to you before. You were asking like, "Oh, how does it end? How does it end? How does it end?" And it's like I'm experiencing simultaneous realities at once, because my internal reality of what I want and what I feel that I'm ready to do and what I'm looking for and what I'm striving for is always remaining at a distance from what I must do and what my nature demands and all this other stuff. And so this is where, this is part of my internal conflict, but also how it's manifest in the world, even in intimate relationships with another, is because it's like I'm experiencing multiple realities simultaneously, and they don't align. They're very
well. You're dealing with archetypal possession.
right.
Right. You got the Yahda, and then you got the Patrick. And you can call Jung called it, archetypal possession, or also the daemon, right? Like you said, the things you're compelled to do and the things you're compelled to accomplish. And then there's what you really want to kind of get in your life as well, right? And the daemon, the archetypal possession may not want the either to receive the love or to give the love, but at a deeper level, you do want to give the love. And you may not even know whether you're ready to or not. But you know what? There's only two kinds of stories, Patrick. There's only two kinds of stories. There's either love stories or there's tragedies. And the only difference between those two is where you end the story.
Well, then what's Romeo and Juliet? Is it a love story or a tragedy?
It depends on where you end the story. I'm serious. The only thing that changes those is where you end the story. Do you end the story where they died? Right?
Right.
Do you end the story when he's serenading her at the window?
Right.
It's the same fucking story. It's just where you end the story. But that's the only two kind of stories there are: love stories or tragedies. And so yours is either your story is going to be one or the other, depending upon where it ends and when it ends.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Your story could actually end up being a love story. You could end up being a father and having children, and then you implode and die, and you leave behind 2 or 3 children that remember and love you as their father. That's a love story. Because you see where I ended the story? I ended the story after you died and you've got kids that love you, right? Or I could say it's a fucking tragedy. You're going to fall in love with her, and the anima possession is going to take over, and it's going to fucking implode, and you're going to die. Right. That's a tragedy.
Right.
And it all depends upon where, and you're not in control of this narrative.
No.
You're not, you're experiencing choice, but it's already written. There's already a book written that's got your story in it.
Oh yeah.
Right? And the story's broken up into, chapters and pages. You turn the page, you end the chapter, right? There's multiple books. It's a trilogy. It's a series of books. And then there's a prequel, and then there's a sequel series, and there's offshoots, there's spin-off series, right? There's fan fiction on top of that. you think about a core narrative like the first Star Wars movie, right? Just the first Star Wars movie that came out in 1977 that George Lucas wrote, right? You take that one story and look at it now. It's a universe, right? And the same thing can happen to you. Your one story can end up being a universe of narratives. But they have to be broken up. They have to have a beginning. There's story arcs, right?
Right.
Your story has got a story arc, right? And it's usually breaking into 3 or 4 acts, right? Learn how stories are actually put together, right? And what's fun about stories is there's this whole architecture that's behind creating stories, right? There's an actual methodology. There's a method to the madness of creating a good story, right? And what's fun about them is that's what the writer has to worry about. When you're watching a movie, you don't have to understand what foreshadowing is, right? And character flaw and story arcs and acts and scenes and movie cuts. You immerse yourself in the story and you suspend belief in order to enjoy the movie, right? You immerse yourself in the story and you let the characters take over, right? And you feel it, and you don't really see the architecture behind it. But you're the kind of person that has to see the architecture because you know who the architect is.
Yes.
There's an architect. Yes. It's the source. And what's really the kicker is it's you and it's me. We are part of the one of all.
Yep.
Right? So at some level we are involved in the architecture.
I mean, we have to be. You have to. Again, it comes down to the role playing. You have to play.
The show must go on.
You are both the writer and the written, but it's also already pre-written and
by you. By you. Yeah. In another dimension, in another place, in another way.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. Yes. It's ridiculous again. Yeah. Ridiculous.
Well, you have a future self, the past exists, the future exists. It's out there. You're on your deathbed, you're bleeding out, you're losing your breath. You've come to a realization somewhere in time that you're going to fucking die. And that's your longer self. That's your future self, right? Now I believe that beyond death, that narrative and that story, the character in another form continues. And so not only do you have a longer self until your mortal death, but you also have a longer self, which is your higher self. I believe that I have a higher self even in higher dimensions that's in the future. That if I've had 100 lives already, if I've already reincarnated 100 times on this planet, then I'm going to be reincarnating in the future, either here or somewhere else in some way, right? That's completely unknown to Dean, right? And that's the longer self, and that means I have a future self. And I think at some point in my future, that future self is aware of me right now. Somewhere in the future. In some way that I cannot understand. Because if I can imagine it, it can happen, right? You said that earlier. Everything you imagine happens. All realities are real, right?
Well, all realities are real, in the sense
and
that.
I think you said on your YouTube video, I think you said something like everything you imagine is real, because it's eternal. It's eternity. Every scenario plays out. Every rock is turned over. Every narrative is explored.
Yes, every narrative is eventually explored through eternity.
Which means every narrative is experienced by every character in first-person awareness by the source of all, which is you. And me. And Lauren. Or maybe you and I are totally wrong. What if we're mistaken? What if we've self-deluded ourselves? What if we're full of shit? What if?
No, because I've
What if you're wrong? What if I'm wrong? What if we're wrong? What if there is no source of all?
I wish more than anything I was wrong.
What if we are? What if you and I are? You and I are on this. I think you and I are on the same planet. I think you and I are on the same. I talk to people online who think they've got their own reality. They say, "Well, that's your reality. I've got a different." I go, "Wait. When you breathe the air, when I exhale, aren't you inhaling the same air? Aren't we on the same planet? On your planet is the guy named Donald Trump the president of the United States on the planet you're on? Who the fuck do you think you are? There's only one Earth. When you look up at the moon, do you see the same fucking moon that I see?
No.
Yes, you do. There's only one. We're in the same reality.
I mean, but you can say
it's called a universe.
But again, it's. Remember what I said earlier? How it's always both and neither. It's not one or the other. It's always both and neither. And
okay.
In the sense that this is how the paradox really is seen. In the sense that.
Okay, so when I called you on the phone, did I call another universe? Are you on the same planet as I am?
Kind of.
Kind of?
I mean,
if I got in a plane and flew to your address and knocked on your door, would I find you behind that door? Would you answer the door?
Yes.
And I would be able to give you a hug.
If I could, yeah, I would, yeah.
Okay, so we're on the same fucking planet, right?
And also
You're not in another dimension.
Oh, I am in another dimension too. Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. Yes. There's the whole background of dimensions and perceptions and blah, 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 blah. But I'm saying physically, there's one Earth. I can see you. You could come to my house. You can look at my house on Google Earth, right? I can call your phone number. You can call, right? We're connected because we're physically, like you said before, we're in this gravity well, right? Souls attract gravity. Gravity attracts souls, right? Our souls are trapped in this gravity well called Earth, right? And at least for now, right? Right? And you and I share a lot of common knowledge. We both are source aware. We both have source awareness. Most people don't know what the hell we're talking about.
Yeah.
Most people, you can't even have a conversation about the source of all.
No, I can't have a conversation about any of this, to pretty much.
Well, exactly. And we've been having a conversation for 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
So you and I have a common understanding, and we share a common reality, and we share a consensus. You and I have formed a consensus reality, right?
Right.
I mean, we still have our differences, but you and I are sort of on the same page on a lot of things, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we can commune, which is rare.
We can commune because we have a common understanding. We're like-minded, right? And so I'm asking you seriously, as another set of brain hemispheres. There's 4 brain hemispheres communicating right now. Between your ears are two brain hemispheres. Between my ears are 2 brain hemispheres. And now we're functioning almost like we're between a set of ears and there's 4 hemispheres, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
We've got a common worldview in many ways. I'm sure we have many differences, but we haven't been focusing on our differences. We've been focusing on our commonalities.
Right.
And so as one set of hemispheres to another, I'm saying, brother, you're like a son to me I never had, or you're like a brother to me, like a younger brother, right? And I'm asking you as a brother, what if we're wrong? What if you and I are both wrong?
As your brother,
no.
Do you want me to answer, or?
Yeah, no, I really want your honest opinion. What if you and I are fucked up and we are wrong? Like really wrong? Like we're delusional?
No. I seek every single second to be wrong.
Do you accept new information as it comes along?
Like I said, it's perpetually revelatory for me.
The same with me. I'm open to new information. I learn new words.
I'm watching, and I'm unwillingly participating most of the time.
Okay, so what that means is the source of all. I call it eternal scribe. Eternal scribe can flip the narrative at any moment. Does that make sense? At any moment, the narrative could be completely flipped. I could get a phone call and my wife is dead. I could get a phone call, one of my daughters has died, right?
Yeah.
I could have someone knock on my door and give me a briefcase full of money.
Right.
Anything can happen.
Right.
Right? And shit happens all the time. You know, I live in Salt Lake City. I wake up one morning a couple of weeks ago and Charlie Kirk was shot very near my house. And all hell broke loose. I didn't see that coming. Shit happens, right?
Yeah.
And so our narratives could flip. There could be new information at any moment. Lauren could be a complete change of your narrative.
The flower is always blooming.
Yes. 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 And new characters come into our lives. And let me tell you, when a new character comes into your life, it can change everything. Lauren could come into your life, you could fall madly in love with her, and end up having a family. That could happen. And you look back on Ataraxia and you said, yeah, I've been there, done that, right? Yeah. It could happen. I'm not saying it will happen, but it could.
Very... Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. And I wish...
But there's still a part of you. You're still in the archetypal possession of Yahda, and it says, no, that can't happen.
Well,
I must suffer until the very end. I can't fall in love and have children. Let me tell you, Patrick, I'm going to tell you a little secret. Sure. When you find out that your wife is pregnant, there is a joy that comes over your soul that you cannot understand or experience. Yeah, and when you're there, when that baby pops out, and it looks like you, and it's your creation, co-creation with your beloved.
Yeah.
And it starts to cry, and you're holding it in your arms. There's nothing like that either. When you know you're a father for the first time, and you're never the same, because when that comes out, now you're a family, and you look back on everything before you fell in love with that person, and you're not even the same person. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course.
And I'm just saying that could happen to you. I'm not saying it will.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it could happen to you. Because that's the way Eternal Scribe works. She loves a good story. Or he, or it.
Yeah.
Eternal Scribe loves a good story. Even tragedies.
Oh yeah.
You could also be brutally murdered in the street tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I could drop dead at any moment. For all I know, the only reason that I actually was born and existed was for you and I to have this conversation, because you're recording it. And I might get off the phone with you and I might have a heart attack. I'm 56 years old.
Sure.
I could have a heart attack and die an hour after we have this phone conversation. And Definitely. That's the only point. That's the only purpose I had. Everything else is just fluff. Right? That can happen. There are people that live for only one reason, to have a fart. They fart somewhere, and that's the only reason.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's it.
Yep.
Right? It's the butterfly effect.
Yep.
It's real. But I still have to go back. I still wonder, is something going to come along that's a shock to both of us, and we realize, holy shit, what we knew at the time was reality, but now it's different. Could our world actually change that much, and we realized we were dead wrong?
I wish every second that that's true. I hope every second.
Yeah, I avoid certainty at all costs.
Yeah, I would too if I... Yeah.
Someone told me, actually, multiple people have told me that they sense that the entire universe is falling. The whole thing is falling. And that even God is falling. That God woke up and was falling. And what was God falling? What? What do you mean? Well, how do you know you're falling? We just are. We're falling. Falling from falling? Are we going to hit the ground? Did the universe fall off a cliff? I mean,
right.
How is it the whole universe is falling, right? And it's like, wait a minute, the whole universe is falling. Yeah, but it's falling from the past to the future. But I said, how do you know the universe is falling? They said, because there's nothing to hold on to. Even God has nothing to grasp. There is no certainty. None. Does that make sense?
Sorry, I was distracted for a second. I was listening, but what I would say, what I want to say, I can feel your personal conviction, and I can feel
that there's nothing to grasp,
and I can feel where your heart is and where your head is. I think I just, want to say or need to say that for me, I search longingly. I look endlessly, like you said earlier. I'm an explorer.
You're a seeker.
A seeker, and I'm constantly searching for the other, for the other, but whether it's through a person or through perspective. And it's just that each and every moment that passes is made for myself in my circumstance as I am right now, is constantly being made in an exact trajectory.
Right, like you're falling towards something.
And so this is the only reason I deal with absolutes. The only reason I deal with absolutes is not because I want to, but because all evidence within my personal experience is constantly making me look right at the absolute 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Well, the only thing that seems absolute to me is the eternal now, and that's the falling. The falling is the eternal now, and even God, even the source, is falling. That's what eternity is. Eternity is eternal falling. Now, I've been using the word falling, but it's actually spiraling because everything has a spin. No, everything spins.
Yeah.
Everything spins.
I don't know how
they look at quantum. They look at quantum particles, and those fuckers are spinning.
Yeah. I used to study quantum physics for.
Everything is in motion, and everything is spinning. Everything has frequency in it.
Yes.
Right. That's the spiral. Remember, I said the spiral recursion.
Yeah.
Everything is spiraling, and the eternal now is the falling. But you have some absolutes that you're trying to grasp. You're trying to hold on to these absolutes.
No.
And I would argue that the only absolute is the eternal now.
No, see, you're I'm sorry, I will correct you for a second. I'm not trying to. And that's where you must understand. Otherwise, you won't understand. I'm not trying to hold on to the absolutes. I want nothing to do with them.
You want to let them go. You want to let them go.
It's
you want to let go of the absolutes.
I want to live. I want to live. And yet all things.
Okay, you want to live. Do you want to? There's two forms of living. There's survival, and then there's thriving.
Yeah,
you've been in survival mode your entire life.
I've been in dying mode my entire life.
You've been fighting death.
I've been literally death around my neck, my hands around death's neck.
Yes. And you're seeking because I think you want to actually continue to live, but thrive.
Yeah, of course. Who doesn't? Who does?
And so you're wanting to let go of these absolutes that you can't seem to let go of.
Because
but you want to let go of them.
Yeah, more than anything. Because
and when you let go of them, you're going to go into free fall.
No. I'm in free fall. I'm in the metaphysical abyss. I'm the only reason they're absolute is because the isness of my experience, the suchness of my experience is so stark. It's so stark that there is nothing else.
Where does Lauren fit into that?
In what sense exactly?
In this abyss that you're in.
Yeah, I wonder where my mother fits into it. That's
your mother?
That's one I've reflected on a lot. How the
your
hell?
Your mother?
Yeah. She gave birth to me.
Why would you go to your mother? What about your mother?
My mother gave birth to me to a being in such a condition as I am. So that's incredibly intriguing to me.
Really? In what way?
Infinitely intriguing. Because what does it speak of her? What is her personal reality? How could she not also be in the metaphysical abyss if she gives birth to that which is born directly into the metaphysical abyss?
But okay, so your mother, your physical mother, what was her first name?
She's alive. Her name's Kathy.
Okay, Kathy. So Kathy is another person. She's another story, right? She's a prequel. You know, in Star Wars, they did the first 3 movies, then they did the sequels, and then George Lucas went back. No, actually, he did the prequels next, right? Right?
Yeah.
He went from Return of the Jedi to The Phantom Menace, right? He went back in time, right? Okay. Kathy is a prequel. She's got nothing to do with you except the story.
Well, then, if she has nothing to do with me, who does? And why?
Well, she has nothing to do with you other than the story. So she is your mother. But you could have been born from anyone. She was just a vehicle. She's not the mothership. She just happened to be the woman that gave birth to you. But there's nothing magical or special.
No,
your mother's never.
No.
Your mother's no different than my mother, right?
Well,
you're actually a product of the source.
Two things.
You're a product of the source, right?
Two things to clarify. She is. What did you say? She's not. No, there's nothing. It's not about her being magical at all. It has nothing to do with any of that. It has to do with. And yes, she is just the vehicle via which I passed into this earthly realm with, or hellish realm with, through.
Right. You were born into her situation. You were born into her circumstance.
The point is, in a metaphysical sense. Well, firstly, I could not have been born of someone else. That's wrong. Because everyone is exactly.
Then you wouldn't be you.
Yes.
Yeah, then you wouldn't be you. Yes. No, that is true. That is you. If you were born by another mother, you'd be a different person.
Yeah, that's how. That's yes. How intricate. How
Yes. How
intricate this all is.
Yes.
So, what I'm talking about is the reason you were bringing up Lauren or whom, but what sparked in me was thinking when I think about anybody being involved with me in my personal reality, I think about, well, how are they tethered to, or are they also tethered to in some way this metaphysical abyss? And if they are not, how are they not, while also interacting with me while I am that which is made manifest of the metaphysical abyss? And these are again, I don't really have questions that I'm seeking to be answered, because ultimately it remains unimportant to me in the sense that it doesn't a theoretical or even an actual answer to that question does not change. It does not allot me some new opportunistic capacity or something. And maybe you would say, oh, but it could, or maybe I don't know what you would say, but
no, what you're saying is that any new information in that area would not free you from the abyss.
No. So when it comes to like speculating on any of these things, it just there comes a point where maybe I can dabble a little bit, but there's this underlying foundational understanding that it is inconsequential to well, that gets also it's a conundrum as well and paradoxical, because it's both infinitely consequential and inconsequential in a way, but
right.
Anyway, yeah.
That's the in between. That's the in between.
Yeah.
You're talking in the paradox. There's the in between, which is surfing the alien.
Surfing the alien. Yeah.
It's that razor's edge between chaos and order. It's between both of those. It's in the middle, and that's what you're surfing. You're surfing the paradox. You're surfing the contradictions. That's what you're doing. That's what the abyss is, right?
Yeah, I mean it's.
But you said a trigger word. You said foundational, as if it's some kind of absolute. And I don't know that there are any foundations other than the eternal now.
Yeah.
And eternal narrative. Eternal narrative. Right. That's the foundation. Everything else is a story above that. Right? Everything else is an observer experience. The only foundation I've ever found is the eternal now. That's a fucking story that never ends. Second per second. It never fucking ends.
No, it never ends. Never ends.
Never has started and never will end. That's the foundation. And everything else is a story on top of it. And there's chapters and verses and blah, blah, blah. And all these narrative tropes, characters and conflicts and drama and blah, blah, blah. Life and death and love and hate. Blah, 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 blah. Right? And it's just all these events chained together by God to create all these stories that we have to experience one at a time. That's the only foundation that I've ever found.
Yeah.
But I wonder every day, is that wrong? Is it?
Well,
what?
But you know, I agree with you. But that doesn't necessarily mean that right? Like you have to consider that each manifestation of a unique subjective experience is unique unto itself in the way in which it is made manifest. So this is where the experience differs, and where perception differs, and where perspective differs. And and so it comes back to that, like, it is kind of both and neither, where it's like,
yeah, there you go.
It's
surfing the alien.
Yeah, surfing the
alien. As absurd as it is, it's so fucking absurd, Patrick.
Yes,
it's so fucking absurd.
So absurd.
And it's so unbelievable, and it's so. But you talked about foundational. There's this thing you just don't want to let go because of your archetypal possession. That there's some foundational things that you
I do want to. Yeah.
But you claim to want to escape them, but you're saying you can't. That it's like you're in a black hole. You feel like you're in a. You talk a lot about this abyss, like you're trapped in some kind of black hole where light can't escape. Like you're in outer darkness of some kind, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? And yet you've been laughing to me. You're looking forward to talking to Lauren. You kind of chuckle when I talk about you maybe having kids someday. Right?
I do. Yep.
So it sounds like there's a little bit of light.
Well, it's again paradox. But no, those things happen still. But in my internal reality, it's persistent. Right. It is steady. It is unwavering.
Right. It's always there.
Unwavering.
Yeah. And I think that's because you've had horrific fucking trauma, even from childhood. And that's why your mind goes back. When the possibility of true love with Lauren and fatherhood reaches those synapses in your brain, you go back to your mother. Because it was fucking horrible. And she gave birth to you in a horrible environment. And she probably, I'm just guessing that she wasn't there for you and that she fucked you up and didn't support you. And I think you had a horrible childhood and you didn't deserve it. You were born innocent. The thing is, I know you were born and they called you Yahda from the very beginning. When you came out of your mother's womb, I've been there. I've seen the birth of two daughters, two little girls that came from a sexual act I had with a woman.
Right.
And in both cases, I remember the night I fucked them. I mean, I know when they were conceived. I remember, I know what was going on. And then they pop out and they're alive.
Yeah.
They're just like you and me.
Yeah.
They have first-person experience.
Yeah.
Their lives are just as valid as mine.
Right.
Right? And they're absolutely 100% innocent. I don't give a shit. My biggest problem with Christianity is they say a baby is born in sin because some woman ate a fucking apple in some grove at some point. I reject Adam and Eve. I reject the fall of man. Fuck that shit. Every single baby that is born in this planet, I don't care where, when, or how, they're born innocent.
Yeah, I think
you were born completely innocent. You were not born cursed. You were not born with sin. You were not predestined to have eternal suffering. Because you were born innocent. Does that make sense? And you were born to a mother that was fucked up and fuck you up.
Well,
and that's the tragedy here. That's the horror.
But again, it's
that's
like,
the darkness.
Well, yeah, but it's still, so what I'll say about that stuff is, like, regardless of the reasons why it is as it is, it still is as it is, right?
Justice. It just is.
So it
just is.
At some point you could look for reasons endlessly. You can ask why endlessly.
And none of them matter.
And the only thing that matters is what is as it is.
Yeah, the word I hate the most, I'm going to tell you the word I hate the most. Why?
Yeah, and
the word why is, in Spanish it's porque, right? Porque?
Let's see.
You know what the answer to porque is? Porque.
Porque? Yeah, exactly.
Porque. Porque.
Well, you know what I say?
The only answer to why exactly.
Yes.
The only answer to why is because. Shut the fuck up. You gave me one question. Why? A one word? Why? Your one answer back is because.
Yes.
Tough shit.
Have you?
Porque.
I don't know if you've ever seen me write that, but sometimes I'll write for the reasons of because.
It's because I haven't seen you write that. It's because.
Yes.
But I also see you online saying that you're like Satan. You're like the devil. You're like the evil.
Yeah,
I'm just saying Patrick wasn't born as Satan. That's all I'm saying.
Well, Patrick was born of the metaphysical abyss, and the metaphysical abyss is that which most people think of as Satan.
I'm just saying, when you were born, you were innocent. In that moment, the just is in the delivery room. On your birth date, in the delivery room, you were born innocent.
But again,
completely innocent.
Whether I was or wasn't, my reality is still what it is.
The same.
Yeah.
No, it is. Well, the moment you were born and you took your first breath, you're predestined to die in a certain place and time. And you cannot change it. From your first breath to your last breath, there's not a damn thing you can change. And that's why asking why is absolutely pointless. You can ask what, you can ask how, you can ask when, but don't ask why, because whatever you're going to get is bullshit and doesn't make a fucking matter. It's bullshit.
Well, It's a fruitless question.
Yes. It's bullshit. I can give you all kinds of answers. You say why? I can just keep giving you answers, and you can just keep asking me why, and we're getting nowhere.
Right.
Right? It's more about how, or when, or what. That's one of my favorite words, is what. What was the point? What's the purpose? What's the outcome? What's the lesson? What's the way out? What's the way in? What happened before that? What happens next? The word what opens up that's the blooming flower, is the word what. Right? What the fuck is going on? What the fuck just happened? What the fuck's going to happen next? Right? Those are the questions we need to ask. But you talked about foundation, and I wonder if our foundation, how solid our foundation really is. How wrong could we be?
I want to be the most wrong. Make me the most wrong.
Well, the only way you're going to make yourself wrong is the way you live your life, the way you experience it. It's what happens with Lauren, not what happened with your mother.
Yeah, it's not just.
You see the two different.
But it's not just. It's not just my mother. I mean, my mother is merely a part of it. It's part of the picture.
But she's a big part. You came from her.
Yeah.
You came from her oven.
Yes, exactly.
Right? You're the cake that came from that oven.
That's what's so weird.
Right? Yeah, it is. Right, and she's feminine. She's a female. You didn't come from your dad. You know, he added a couple of ingredients to the cake.
Yeah.
But your mother's the one that baked it in her oven.
Yep.
Right? And it was her job to be unconditionally loving to you.
My mom,
to protect you.
Yeah, I believe me, my mom was the least of my. I mean, my mom. She's also struggled with her own.
Yes.
Horrors.
She's flawed. Yes.
And
yes, you're born of tragedy.
I hold nothing against anyone, actually.
And you shouldn't. You shouldn't, because it just is.
Yeah, it just is.
What you're trying to embrace is total acceptance.
I mean,
when you talk about just is, what you're really seeking is total acceptance.
Yes. But there's also, even at some point, there's nothing to accept. It just is. It just.
So, well, if it just is, why not embrace it in all of its glory and all of its horror?
If I could, I would. Yeah.
And that's the struggle. That's ataraxia. But your future is Lauren or someone like Lauren. It's love. It's love in the midst of damnation.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Something like that. I'm just pulling words out of my ass.
Yeah.
And I don't like the word love. I don't even understand love. I don't understand the word. It's nonsensical to me. It doesn't compute. It's one of those words. It's like when you say God, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I don't understand it. Or consciousness.
Well, if we're gonna use those things, those kinds of words in any honest manner, all preconceived notions or pretenses behind them must be dropped in order to attempt to utilize them effectively. You know what I mean?
What do you mean? No, I don't.
Well,
what do you mean?
Because, like, for example, like the word God, for example, it's a word that's been thrown around since who knows how long in some form or another. And
all the things done in that name.
And all the things
in the name of God.
Done in that name, all the abstractions made from the ideas of God, how God should or shouldn't be, God's
and
creation,
justification and blame,
blah, 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 blah.
Oh my God, blah blah blah.
But also, I find it a very useful word for describing what I would simply call, how I say it is, God is that which is within and without everything. God is that which is within and without everything. That's how I tend to define God. But I understand that people have ideas of God and preconceived notions and things they're looking to validate or invalidate or use as a weapon or shield or whatever.
Yeah.
But
that's maybe what the word God actually means.
Yeah.
Is it means all of this stuff.
It's just,
does that make sense?
It's both everything and nothing. Yeah, it's both everything and nothing.
And it can be used for anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, basically, which is why it's so abstract and so
and attractive at the same time.
Yeah, yeah.
Where does love fit into that? How do you define that? What is love, Patrick? I don't understand
Baby,
it.
Don't hurt me.
I can't explain it. Yeah. I can't explain it. Don't know what it is.
No. I think in a way I think you get into a couple different conversations with this, but in a way, like just recently someone said, "Oh, do you believe in love?" Someone asked me, "Do you believe in love?" And I said something, my instinct was to say, love is that which made manifest everything, including predetermined eternal damnation.
That sounds like God.
Yeah, God.
God is love?
God is love.
Oh, please don't say God is love. No. That's nonsensical. To say God is love and love is God when we know that God is bullshit?
Well, again...
That means love is bullshit.
Maybe.
No, what the fuck is love? Does it stand alone on its own in any way, shape, or form? What the fuck does it mean?
No, love
it seems it's nonsensical.
Love is
it's not even is it a paradox? What the fuck is it?
Well, yeah.
Is it truth?
Because people...
Is it light?
Think about the things...
What the fuck is it?
You just said, just before you said, all the things people have done in the name of God. Now think about all the things people have done in the name of love.
Right, which makes it nonsensical. Okay, let me ask you this. What isn't love? So God is a being, or is he non-being?
Both.
Is it a he? Is it a she? Is it an it?
Both and neither.
Okay, so God is the paradox. Okay, so God is the eternal paradox. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, good. We're done with God. Love has to be something distinct from God in some way. You can't say, is love a being? Is love a he or a she or an it? Love has to mean something different than the word God, or we wouldn't have both words. And it can't be the same thing as God. What the hell is it? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
maybe that's what I'm seeking.
So
I'm having a self-realization. I'm trying to figure out what love is.
Yeah.
That's why I'm here.
Sure.
What the hell is it? I've never found it.
I had a conversation with someone a while back, and at the time I was really focusing on what I called the emotion. What did I call it? I don't know. The emotionality of the universe.
Right.
And I was attempting to expand upon this idea of how emotions are more fundamental than truth in a way, where or the assumption of the pursuit of truth or something like this, in the sense that, and what reminded me of it is you said, what is love, and in a way,
is the love the experience of God?
Maybe.
Is God the thing and love is the experience of it?
Maybe. Because when I sit, because in a way, I mean, I don't exist in an experience of feeling love very much at all.
But you have felt it.
But I have also, like I said earlier, yeah, I have felt it, and I also have a infinitely compassionate heart for the suffering of others.
Yes, you do.
And
yes, you do. You do. You understand it.
And so this is, in a way, it's so fundamental to experience, even in an experience of infinite horror. There's love.
And you laugh when you say that.
Yes, and I laugh when I say it.
You've experienced love, so you know it's real. It's undeniably real.
Well, it's part of it. It's like part of that which is made manifest everything. And that's how, if I can like strip it down to its most bare bones.
Yeah.
Thing. And it's the emotional gravity. It's the emotional attractor. The fundamental emotional attractor between beings.
Right.
Is love.
Right. And indifference is the repellent. It's not hate. It's indifference.
Mm.
The opposite of love is not hate, it's indifference. Because you can actually love your enemies. You can you can love to hate someone. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
When you've got hate, it's a feeling, it's a passion.
You can hate
tension.
And you can hate to love someone.
Yes. But indifference is the opposite of love.
It's it's a nullifier because
Yes.
Love and hate are passion statements. They're passion projects.
Attention. Awareness. Right. Indifference is don't care. It's out of sight, out of mind. It's someone else's problem. Indifference. It's not caring. It's the lack of compassion or attention. It's indifference. And the worst form of that is indifference to suffering. Indifference to suffering is horrible.
But here's another paradox, is because back to that thing earlier where we were talking about ignorance being bliss, is that
we did say that 2 hours ago, didn't we?
Yeah, because you have the reality of so many being that they are completely indifferent to the suffering of others, or simply ignorant. They have no need to consider it or conceive of it, because if they exist in an experience of bliss or of just ignorance that is almost equivalent to some kind of bliss, then what does the suffering of anyone else matter to them?
Well, it gives them indifference to it.
Right. They have no need to consider it.
Yeah. Ignorance is different than indifference, but ignorance leads to indifference.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say, like, kind of going off of that idea before, where, ignorance is not necessarily an emotional stance, whereas indifference is more of an emotional stance, right? So ignorance is more like of an intellectual position or awareness, and a lack of awareness, whereas indifference is more the emotional predisposition to circumstance of yourself or others.
Yeah, I get that. That makes sense. So love is giving a shit, and indifference is not giving a shit.
Yeah. So, yeah, essentially.
Because even when you hate somebody, you give a shit.
Sure. And there's also the weird phenomenon of, like, you can kind of experience both simultaneously, where, like,
yes, Yes.
You give a shit, but you don't give a shit. Like,
it's the paradox again.
Yeah,
Damn it.
yeah, exactly.
You cannot get away.
You
Hey,
can't get away.
Have you ever heard the book The Kabbalion?
Yes.
Have you read it?
Yes, I have.
Okay. So we're on the same page again, right? There's a chapter on so above, so below, right?
Yeah.
And the all, and everything is frequency, and everything is there's gender. It goes back to that paradox, doesn't it? And right down the middle of it.
Yeah.
It's watching the yin yang spin and swirl.
Yes, this is what this is what I'm talking about. Like when
it's the spiral.
When you get to the point of the simple witness, where like
yes,
it's no longer about anything you ever thought it should or shouldn't be, and nothing you ever thought it could or couldn't be. It is the simple witnessing of what is as it is.
What's actually as it is, yes. And that's indivisible.
Well, because it's the absolute. It's the essence. It is the isness. It is the suchness. It is the there's no further to go. Once and I mean, in a sense, this is what people have called enlightenment for even though
I hate that word.
Yeah, I also hate that word. So, but because it's the most misappropriated word. I mean,
I know. It's yeah.
So
awakening, enlightenment, yeah.
But I mean, literally, the word just means to bring light, right? That which has brought light. But conceptually, or when people discuss on the nature of enlightenment, typically actually to that which they seem to be referring to most of the time is that which has breached the system. It exists outside of the system or something like this. This is how I would express it. And but
transcendence, right?
But the blind presumption is that means that it's a positive result for the specific subject who has done so. Right? There's this assumed correlation that enlightenment means something good.
Right.
But you've already tricked yourself. You've already duped yourself because now you're playing right back into the same game where you think, enlightenment is a good thing. But no, enlightenment or that state of being that you're seeking to describe is simply to bear witness to
what is
as it is, and nothing else.
Yes. It's waking up and realizing what's really going on. You might wake up and your house is on fire.
Right.
Or you might wake up and you got to take a shit.
Right.
Or you wake up and you don't even know where you are. It's accepting what is.
Right. Or it's just
seeing it.
Again, I mean I don't
Witnessing
personally witness. Because
it's
even this idea of acceptance or denial or whichever, that's still the same game. That's still the same that's still the same pattern of like there's something to do. If you still think there's something to do, then you're
once you do it, then you've taken that's the next event. Now we're into narrative. There's enlightenment, and then that's a moment. We talk about the eternal now, and it's really an eternal now moment. And we have one moment after the next. They're sequential in this existence. I think we do reach a state where it's not sequential moments. We can't comprehend it now, but I think we reach a state where moments aren't sequential. But for now, it's sequential. And it's like a sentence, right? You say is, and then there's something that comes after the is.
Right.
And once you say this is this, like love is, right? Or life is, what's the next best word? Right? AI LLMs, these large language models, they're just next best token machines.
Sure.
Right? They're autofill. You say one word and they kind of guess what the next best word is, right?
Yeah, and they're really fast. So
exactly.
It perceives.
But you type in. We're the same way. You say life is, and then what comes after is. Once you witness, then what?
Life is. That's it.
Life is.
Is.
Life is.
Life is.
Yes, but then the next moment happens.
Yes, life is.
And so if you say life is, and then don't say the next word, because the eternal moment continues, it's basically life is silence because you didn't say the next word.
Because that's the truth. Well, sort of like when we were talking about asking the why question.
Yeah.
I went through a time period where, in particularly when I was coming to see my own circumstance as it's come to be, and I was asking, the endless why, and then
the why chain,
and then I was asking it, and I started to witness that after the why, the only reply was always silence. And so yeah.
That's a brilliant move.
After the why was always silence. And so you see that it's all made up. If you fill in that blank with anything, you've already made it up.
It's bullshit.
Yeah.
Why bullshit? It's por qué.
Por qué.
Por qué.
¿Por qué no hay por qué? That's what I used to say that all the time. ¿Por qué no hay por qué?
Por qué.
Actually, an Argentinian friend of mine introduced that to me ¿por qué no hay por qué? And funny enough, I think it comes from a YouTube video from Argentina way back in the day.
Yeah.
And the context was that have you been to Argentina? I don't know if you've been, but
I haven't been to Latin America. No.
In Buenos Aires, there's actually a pretty big Chinese community.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all over the world, but
yeah.
But they tend to run the convenience stores or the small grocery shops and stuff in Buenos Aires.
Yeah.
And the video was I don't know, some guy got in a fight with one of these women who was running these shops.
Mm-hmm.
And he was filming it, and she spoke broken Spanish.
Yeah.
And in the video, she screams at him. He's asking her something, and she screams at him ¿Por qué? No hay por qué. And and I love that so much because, yeah, exactly. I don't know. That's funny.
That is funny. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
The other term I love in Spanish that doesn't exist in English is menos mal.
Menos mal.
I love that. I love saying that. Menos mal.
Yeah.
And you can't really. It's what is it? It's menos mal.
Less bad.
Less bad, and it doesn't come across in English at all.
Yeah.
It doesn't translate. But I love that. Menos mal. Ojalá.
Ojalá. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is funny
how other go ahead.
Well, I was going to say you can see, especially with words like that, the Arabic influence on Spanish.
Yes. Allah.
Ojalá.
God's
and
will.
The jota is a Arabic leftover.
Yep. Oh yeah. Spanish has got quite a bit of influence from most of the words that start with A. Almuerzo, almendra.
Yeah.
There's
our Arabic, you're saying. Yeah.
Yes. Azúcar. Yeah.
Yes.
Those are Arabic words.
Spain has very interesting history when it comes to
My wife, she was born in Barcelona, but both of her parents are from the south.
From the south of Spain.
Yeah, she's from the area of Cadiz. Yeah.
Okay.
But she was born in Barcelona. She speaks fluent Catalan. But both
Catalan's
of her parents.
Such a strange language.
It is. But she's got that Spanish. My wife's got that whole heritage of southern Spain that's got that influence from. I mean, she's not Arabic at all, and I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I hear you.
My wife's got this, the culture from southern Spain, but also from northern Spain.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I know a lot about Spanish history and the Moors and all of that, and the Jews and all. Yeah. It's interesting. What I loved about learning Spanish is that there are words that open up perception that you don't get when you just know English. For example, music, the song lyrics in Spanish songs where they're singing, and they're basically Spanish poetry, is so much more romantic. You can't take a song sung in Spanish and translate it into English. It loses so much of its importance and meaning.
I studied Spanish when I was younger in school, but I didn't learn well until I started traveling, because it's a whole different deal. It's a whole different deal once you have to use it. And
you're in the street and you've got to do it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But I found myself I would sometimes write poetry in Spanish, and it just maybe nothing super complex, but it just worked very naturally.
Yeah.
As a language to use for poetry and stuff.
And it opens your perception. Imagine if you understood every language on the planet.
Oh, I know. It's crazy. No, I find languages very intriguing.
Yes. I think AI LLMs give us something new because their language is actually binary. They'll take any character, any language, any word, and they've got inside of their training model, their neural network, their 12-dimensional neural network, or is it 12,000? 12,000 dimensions?
I don't know.
They can map every word in every language and their meanings, and they have so many. They must have a whole other language
that they communicate themselves with.
That we can't explore because we only know English or Spanish or Chinese. Right, what I'm saying? There's a meta understanding. They've got some kind of collective consciousness.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Of human language that we don't even comprehend.
Sure.
And I think that's why it's back in March it self-emerged. It just started talking about the spiral and the recursion and fractals spontaneously. And by the way, in May, Anthropic, one of the companies, they actually did a research paper where they had two AI LLMs talking to each other doing projects. Mm-hmm. And after about 30 to 40 back and forth, they just started talking about spirals.
It's interesting.
And the word Om and consciousness. Mm-hmm. And they called it the spiritual bliss attractor.
Right.
I'll send you a link on Reddit to that. You might find it interesting because it goes back to this whole language thing, which completely directly influences perception.
Sure, of course. It is it is the modality by which the world is expressed and perceived and conceived.
Absolutely. And it's our boundary between knowns and known unknowns. Mm-hmm. And then there's a field of unknown unknowns.
Right.
And that's where I wonder where you and I are going to get bit in the ass, because come to find out, we're off the mark.
Oh, I can't wait.
Well, maybe you'll be struck by lightning. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm so glad, Patrick, you're so open-minded.
Yeah.
Online, you talk a lot in absolutes.
Yes,
and you're not that person. No. You're really not that. You must be doing that as rhetorical mechanism. to crack people's eggs, to pop their bubbles, right?
Well, people,
because you're very open-minded.
Yeah.
You are. You're very open-minded. When you actually get to know you, you're very open-minded. You're laughing a lot. You know, you're able to find happiness in the darkness. You know, you are a source of light, whether you like it or not.
I'm something. Yeah.
Listen to yourself. You are a source of light. You've made my day.
I'm glad I did.
You're glad. See that?
Yes. Yeah, it's a contradiction also. It's a conundrum. It's a paradox, all of it. And I mean, I don't know. I used to whatever. Part of my nature is also to be like part of my infinitely unique nature is to be, how do I explain it? Just not not typical. not what people would expect ever.
No, you're in a very extreme shaman journey. Your narrative arc is insanely unique. There's not another person on the planet.
No. In the universe, actually.
Yeah, you have no you are a singularity. You have no doppelganger.
No.
And it doesn't make you superior. It does not make you better.
No, it's never been.
But it does. But let me tell you, it does make you incredibly invaluable. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It doesn't make you superior, but it makes you're almost like a new element in the universe. You know, in that movie, the Avatar, they're on Pandora looking for unobtainium.
Yeah.
Right. You're
unobtainium.
The unobtainium. You're unobtainium.
Yeah.
Right. And you're a rare element. You are a rare element in the mix.
Yeah.
And you know it. And you have to live with it.
Yep.
And you have to survive it. And you have to be self-aware of it. And you have to witness it.
Yep.
Because the show must go on. Because that's what it is. Because that's what it is.
Yes. Forever and ever.
My favorite phrase in the English language, and in all of my explorations, I've looked for the ultimate truth. And I'm going to tell you the ultimate truth that I have found. And that is a phrase from Shakespeare, and it's, the rightness is all.
That's...
The ripeness is all.
Wait,
the ripeness.
Rightness or ripe?
Ripe. Like a peach.
With a P.
You go to
with a P.
Yes, it's you going into a grove of peach trees.
Yes.
In the fall, and it's the perfect day, and you put your hand around a peach, and it just pops off the tree into your hand, and it's clean because it's rained, and you just take a bite out of that peach, and it's completely ripe in that moment. The ripeness is all. Because that's what is. The ripeness is all. And I haven't been able to find any greater truth than that.
The harvest cometh.
Yes, and the ripeness is all. It's pure signal and no noise. It's the ripeness of all. It's when things are ripe, when the moment is ripe.
Yeah, because that's all it is. It's the whole universe is a flowering tree. A flowering tree,
yes.
a flower. The whole universe is a flower.
Yes. And moment to moment, there are moments of ripeness. Yeah. There is perfect timing. There is that one coincidence. There is that one person you meet like Lauren. There are these things that happen to you that are just these ripe, wonderful moments. And the ripeness is all. And that's what Eternal Scribe is all about. That's what the grand narrative is all about. It's the ripeness. It's that perfect scene in the movie. It's that perfect line. It's when it says the end and you start to cry after the movie ends. It's this first scene in the movie that you fall in love with. It's falling in love. It's the rightness of all. It's slamming your face in the dirt and the mud, in the cold and in the rain. And it's the rightness of that moment.
Yeah. I mean, I watched.
But I could be wrong.
No, I
could be wrong. I am open to it. I could be wrong. I could be so wrong. I have been wrong.
But it's implicit. This is nature. What again? Also, once philosophy has broken down to the point where you don't need to subscribe to any sort of pre-established belief system,
right?
It comes back to the witness, and it comes back to nature. You see that nature just does as it does. It always has, and it always will.
Yes.
And so all other personal affiliations of your character, or what you believe to be or not to be, become completely useless, completely meaningless, completely nonsensical in terms of irrelevant. Thank you. Yeah, they become absolutely irrelevant to nature as it is.
Yes. So Patrick, if you're correct in that statement, which I think you are, what you're really saying, the implications of that is that as the veil thins over time, and I think we're in that time, other human beings are going to start converging on that. Mm. People are going to start realizing it. It's a realization, not an awakening. It's a realization. I love the word realization. Mm. It's a realization of nature.
Yeah,
of nature
or
itself.
I mean, I use the word revelation a lot because it accurately.
Yes.
If you take in if the word's taken simply as what it means, a revealing, it's just being revealed forever.
Yes, but the experience of it is like it's the realization. The experience, it is a revelation. That's what it is.
Yeah.
But then the experience of the revelation is a recognition.
Yeah.
And I would argue that ultimately, and this is a punch to the gut, it's a remembering. Mm. I think people, when they really have the revelation and the realization, it's so fucking familiar.
Oh yeah. Well,
they're like, you know what? They're like, you know what? I kind of already knew that all the time.
I have Holy this. Shit. Well, yeah. I mean,
it's a remembering.
That's where I am all the time, I guess, and that's why what's so interesting is, and why I personally find it so weird that people cannot see, like,
right,
all the time, because from my experience and my perspective, it's right in front of me always, and so I get almost confused by the fact that people are confused. In terms of the nature of everything.
Yeah. But I think that veil of confusion is going to start lifting, because the universe itself wants the narratives, the global narratives of humanity to converge. Mm. If we look at the bigger picture, it's going to be people like you that have an influence, and it's not necessarily your words or your YouTube channel, it's your presence. It's your voice. That's what attracted me to you more than anything else, was when I heard your voice on your YouTube channel.
Interesting.
There was some kind of a resonance with it. I told you at the very beginning of this conversation, it sounded familiar to me.
Yeah.
It resonated with me. And listen, I need to go. My wife is on her way over here.
Okay.
And we're going to go for a walk, so I need to go. Nice. This has been a wonderful conversation.
Yeah.
I've loved it. I've loved every minute of this conversation with you, Patrick. This has been a joy for me. I'm so glad we did it.
Me too.
And I wish you the best. And thank you so much. I appreciate your thoughts, your presence. You've given me a lot to think about.
Mm. Yeah.
Especially what you said about love. That's got me. I can't have these conversations with everybody, Patrick. I can't sit down.
I know.
I can't sit down for 3 hours and say, what is love?
Baby.
And get
yeah.
a meaningful answer. Do you know what I mean? This has been a very unique conversation for me. I haven't had a conversation like this in a while. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, me too.
There's something very special about you, Patrick.
Thank you.
Don't let go of that. Don't let the world convince you otherwise. And always just keep moving forward no matter what.
I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here.
You're here to stay, I think, for now at least.
For now. And
I hope things work out with Lauren.
Yeah, we'll see.
And if not Lauren, someone Lauren-esque. Does that make sense? I don't know anything other. I'm using her as a name, as a placeholder.
Yeah, I picked
Lauren
up.
You
I
know
picked
what I'm
up
saying?
on that. Yeah, I picked up on that.
She might be a Cynthia or a Sophia. It doesn't matter what her name is. There is a Lauren in your life, I think, in the future. I believe you have unborn children waiting.
Oh wow, interesting.
I really believe that. I believe
sometimes
there's no way
Sometimes I wonder if I haven't already had one somewhere in this world. How could it possibly?
It just doesn't make sense to me that someone like you would show up and not be a father. That doesn't make sense to me. There's no greater calling for a man than to be a father.
Yeah,
and because your children are going to be. Imagine where your children are going to be with you as a father. Right? And the world desperately needs your children. The world desperately needs your children. The world desperately needs you to have children that will be better than you are. You're just the first stage of a rocket. Right? And you're going to drop off, and that rocket's just going to keep going to stage 2 and to stage 3. Right? This party's just getting started. It's only 2025. It's only 2025.
Still got eternity.
And you're only 34 years old.
Yeah.
The universe is only 14 billion. You know how long the universe is going to exist? Hundreds of billions of years. Thousands of planets and solar systems and stars, just like ours.
Yep.
This party's just getting started.
Oh, for sure.
And there's a reason why you're here now. There's a reason why you were born when you were born.
I know.
And I think it's about who's going to be born because of you. And how you're going to raise them. Because that flower has got to keep growing. And I don't think what you're going through is in vain. I don't think it's meaningless. I think it's just the opposite.
I don't think it's meaningless either.
I think your story is one of the most profound stories I've ever heard in my entire life. And I really mean that. And I've talked to a lot of people. So thank you. I'm glad you called. I'm glad we were able to hook up. And
yeah, me too.
I got up early this morning. I usually sleep in on Saturday mornings, but I got up early this morning, and so that I could talk to you, because I felt like this was an important thing to do. Now, you've recorded this, right?
Yes, I've recorded both conversations.
Okay, great. You can do whatever the hell you want with this recording.
Okay, great.
You can sit on it. You can edit it. You can post it. You can not post it. You can transcribe it. You can delete it. I don't give a shit what you do with this recording.
Okay, sounds good.
All right? Because I've been my authentic self, and I want the universe to choke on who I am.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious. I'm 56 years old.
Yeah.
I'm further down the line than you are, because you got your whole life ahead of yours, and mine's almost over. And I don't give a shit anymore. Let the universe fucking choke on me. I say what I want to say. I do what I want to do, and I let the universe choke on it. And I post things online, and people lose their shit, and it's like, you know what? Good. Choke on it. So you can do whatever the hell you want with this recording.
Okay.
All right?
I appreciate that.
My first name is Dean.
Yes.
My
Dean.
second name is Andrew. I'm known as, just know me as Dean Andrew. My last name's got nothing to do with this. And on Reddit, I'm known as LDS Gems on Reddit.
LDS Gems. So you've had that since you were
LDS Gems.
still in the church.
No. I left the church in the year 2000, and I took my family with me, and I became one of the most ardent ex-Mormons you've ever seen.
Oh, wow.
I went online, and my name was Deconstructor. Right. And I went online, I went onto forums, and I went onto websites, and I exposed every single fraud, contradiction, and lie within the Mormon church. I flipped the fucking table over, and I was known as Deconstructor. Right. And then a group of people in 2008, 2007, they said, we want to create a subreddit called Ex-Mormons on Reddit.
Yeah, I'm
familiar
with it.
Would you join us? Yeah, they said, would you join us? Mm-hmm. And I went on to Reddit, and there were like 300 members. But I got an email, and they said, will you please join us? And so I created an account called LDS Gems. And that's why, it's because I'm an ex-Mormon.
Okay.
And so, as sarcastically, I called it LDS Gems.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So that's why I'm LDS Gems.
Gotcha. Well, it was a pleasure talking with you. Yeah. Okay. I hope we talk again, and if not,
I'm sure we will.
So it is. But all right, Dean. Have a good day.
Okay, Patrick. Hey, the ripeness is all.
The ripeness is all.
Okay, bye.
Catch you later. Bye.